Give me shelter, the Rolling Stones. That's how we start this afternoon. Of course, a little thematic. You got that hurricane down there in Florida. Now what? It's heading towards South Carolina, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, kid.
Looking for racists, brother. It's hunting racists, it seems like.
We got Theo Vaughn. He has come back, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm happy to be in here today. And we got a really beautiful gentleman over here.
Yes, what? Doug Benson. What's up, Doug?
Hey, it's good to be here. That's what's up.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
What have you been doing? I always feel like you've been up to something.
Yeah, I got a sneaky way about me, I guess, but that's mostly just being high and stupid. Makes people go, what's he up to? Nothing. Just being high.
I have never seen anyone get more higher than Doug Benson.
Yeah.
I did his podcast, and the green room was freaking amazing. I don't know how you stand after smoking that much pot.
Yeah, you're like a brother,
I don't understand.
Man.
Like,
it doesn't take you off of your feet. It just makes you high.
But you keep going and going. Like, and then you're like smoking it out of an apple, and then I don't know. It was nuts.
And then I sleep great at night when I get home.
But do you ever smoke so much pot that it does knock you down and you can't like perform or do the podcast or nothing?
No, it's a running gag. Whenever I do stand up, I open with, you guys, I've been smoking all day today in an effort to screw up this show, but that's how good I am at smoking weed, that I'm still before you right now.
It's amazing.
Telling jokes. Man. But then as soon as the show's over, I can crash pretty hard.
And then how many hours?
As long as I've got something to do.
Right.
Like, that's how I think it should work, is like, people that smoke weed and it keeps them from working, that's bad. But people who smoke weed and, like, are, can be productive, like I can be sometimes. You never know. Sometimes you smoke weed and it just makes you just not want to do shit. And other times you get a lot done. You just don't know which way it's going to go.
You were smoking like a chimney before I did the podcast. And I'm like, there's no way this guy's going to be able to perform. And then
because it is what it is. I got to do it. You know what I mean? I understand.
Wow. I understand.
Wow. But that's what I'm saying. That I could be incredibly high, but I just know the format and I know what we need to do. And I'll screw up some things along the way. But.
No, that's what I was going to add to my little speech here. Then Doug Benson walks out on stage and just fucking destroys. And I'm just shaking my head like, I just don't get it. This guy should be sleeping right now with the amount of pot I saw him smoke.
Yeah.
And I should add this. If I had just a couple hits, maybe 2, maybe 3 hits, I'd be out.
Yeah.
Do you really build up the tolerance to that point, you think?
Yeah, I'm just pretty used to it, but also I don't. People say, "Oh, it must be hard for you to get high." It's like, no, I just regulate it. Like, I get as high as I need to be, and like, especially at night, I'll just smoke all night long. But in the daytime, it's more of a, You
got the lungs of a brother, I think. Anybody ever told you that?
Yeah.
Theo, Dragon Race into it again.
Oh, no, I mean a real brother. I don't mean like one of the new mixed liberal brothers. I'm talking about an old school dude.
Right. The reason marijuana is illegal, the reason they're called jazz cigarettes, is because it's all about holding down the black man and arresting the black man.
That's how it all began.
And Latinos, yeah.
It could be,
That's
man.
why the whole prohibition started.
I still got
really?
still got a whole bunch of audibles. I was thinking about audible.com for a second there. Edibles from when I did your podcast.
I love to eat audibles because I just I just ate a book. That was great.
When you go and do
Grapes of Wrath.
when you go and do his podcast, all his fans, they're hardcore.
Oh, he's got a beautiful fan.
I thought we had hardcore fans, and we do, but they're pretty hardcore in their own right. And they all bring all sorts of marijuana and that. Can I say this? Maybe I shouldn't. And edibles for Doug Benson.
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, I was there at one of his shows. I've been able to be a part of a couple of the movie guessing shows where you have to know about films.
Yeah, that's the one I did, and
yeah, there were children afterwards.
When you get up there.
Someone had a birthday cake. Someone had a steak infused with meat. They offered me. They were cooking out of the trunk of their car. I'm like, I'm not doing, a steak infused with weed, a weed meat.
That sounds kind of.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that.
Someone's like, you want to hit off of this steak? And I'm like, dang, no, man, I don't.
You know what? I mean, that sounds like it could be delicious.
You get approached with a lot of drugs.
Yes.
You're like every
like I'm on trial.
Yeah, you just did it.
Correct.
You just did it, Donald Trump. No.
You're like
Wrong.
I never said that.
You're like every,
Wrong.
No, I don't smoke weed.
Right.
every junior
Never
high's
happens.
dream. Every junior high kid's dream is Doug Benson.
No kidding. So
Well,
then
that's too young to start, though. Like, I'm on a wait until you're in your 20s to start campaign
Oh, that's
because
beautiful.
they're saying now, the scientists, and
Yeah.
I like to try to trust them, they're saying now that your brain isn't fully formed until you're 24 and that it's risky. Now, this could be propaganda bullshit to get kids to not smoke weed, but I didn't start till I was 28, and I think that, I'm believing the science that they're coming up with now that says you got to wait till 24 because I don't feel like it's it hurt my brain in any way. Like, I don't feel like I have memory issues because of smoking weed.
Well, that's impossible, though, because as soon as you hit, I mean, I was a late bloomer, but as soon as you hit 15, 16, you're trying
You gotta
everything.
try it. You gotta try it.
You're drinking.
We were geeked out on paint. That was the big thing around us. They had a bunch of spray paint. That's what everybody was doing because there
How
was
do
a
you
lot
do
of
spray
weed.
paint? You just sniff
Spray it on stuff and then hit it real quick before it dries.
Yeah, like you could spray it into a plastic baggie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then put it on your face.
Well, how about we then?
Some people would just
That's what they do with glue sometimes.
People would do a fast line of it right under the nose. I mean, they had kids. I remember their whole bottom of their face was covered with different little colors of paint, and
So they get a nice paint mustache and
Get
buzz?
Well, I'm glad
Hits.
weed doesn't leave a color on my face.
oh, you knew who was doing magenta in the distance.
So-
you know,
But yesterday, Pete Davidson comes in.
No, I want to.
And you're all like, "Oh, the whole room smells like weed." How come it doesn't smell like weed when I come in?
I don't know. I don't smell
Because
weed on
I'm
you.
a smarter weed smoker than
Okay.
Pete Davidson.
But
I'm going to put it right out there.
you're a connoisseur.
Doug,
You're an esquire. of
I'm
weed.
going somewhere with this whole thing, believe it or not. So
Okay.
then, after your podcast, I was taking pictures outside, and then someone hands me some edibles. And then I was on the subway going back uptown, and these two girls were freaking the fuck out. They're like, "I can't believe you're on a subway." I'm like, "Why wouldn't I be on a subway? It's the easiest way around Manhattan." And they were so bummed because they want to give you edibles, and they're like, "We never got to see Doug, so do you want him?" So I have a whole pile of edibles.
of your edibles, apparently.
And I've been
Where are they?
I've been dipping a little bit here and there, and Pete Davidson, going back to him, he's like, "I don't touch the fucking edibles because there's he feels like there's heroin in there and
Yeah.
shit."
Well, he's good at also smoking weed in a continuous way, so he just maintains the high where he wants it. Like the
Right.
edibles get tricky because with any new edible, there's these thing called Chiba Chews where they're this big and it says 10. It's 10 doses. Like you're supposed to slice it like Paul Sorvino
and
slicing
thin.
onion.
Right.
Beautiful, yeah.
In prison.
in prison in Goodfellas.
Right.
So it's like you're not going to do that. You're just going to eat the thing and then be way too high. So so it's just some people, and also celebrities, of which Pete Davidson is one, have a kind of a reason to be scared of just taking stuff from strangers and eating it.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's a
You
bummer
know.
at his age because at his age that's what you're supposed to be doing, but because of his celebrityship, he's unable to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm alarmed that you're carrying so much drugs for Doug
No,
Benson.
I mean they're like, oh yeah. Well, it was just
They're
one.
just sitting
it was
around.
one podcast, so I was
You could
dipping into
try 'em.
the gummies, and I don't know.
you're like a Doug mule. You're
Yeah.
you're a Doug mule.
I enjoyed.
It's another album title for me.
I got some. I got some chocolate. That was the best.
Oh, yeah.
Someone was it Esther?
Yeah.
It might have been Esther who got me some chocolate. That was a perfect edible. But I don't know, the stuff I got from your fans. I don't know.
David
And then I
Tell-
don't know how much to take because I wasn't feeling anything, and I was too scared to take more because you have to wait 75 minutes.
You do have to pace yourselves, yourself. The worst experiences I've had with edibles, and I've only had a couple bad experiences, were just from eating something and going, "This isn't doing anything," and then having too much more.
Right.
What's a bad experience for you though? I feel like getting attacked by rockets or
No, throwing up.
Okay.
Like edibles can make you actually throw up. Like smoking weed never makes me throw up, but edibles.
I can answer that question. I'll just say I got someone in Philly that's very, very close to me, and he did some edibles, and he was convinced he was going to kill his own kids because he did too much. Because just like you said, he took a little, and we grew up. You take something, it's going to hit you pretty quickly.
Yeah,
but
you
with
go
the
lay in the
edibles,
yard. You
it says
take a
right
hit, you
on
lay
it.
in the yard.
Wait 75 minutes, but he's sitting around and he's having a beer, and he's like, "What the fuck? Nothing nothing's going on. So he did another one. So he was, like you said, extremely high. And he spent the whole night in his bedroom with the covers up to his eyes, freaking the fuck out, scared that he might kill his own kids.
How were the kids strong? What were the kids
They're
like?
tiny. They're barely alive.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Were they?
They've only been on the planet, a year or two.
What'd you call the kid that got ate by the crocodile?
You heard that?
Yeah.
I don't know what I called him.
Yeah.
Strong boy.
You
he was strong.
You were talking him up like he was a little muscle man.
No kidding.
He was 2 years old.
That's why.
But I'm just saying that kid had maybe a little bit of a fighting chance. I wish we had that on tape, the fight between him
Seriously,
and that
though,
croc.
who's dumber, you or Chris DiStefano?
Oh, Chris is way dumber. You see
That
that?
was so funny when they were arguing about who's dumber.
He doesn't even have clavicles, dude. He has no clavicles. He has cheeks. He has shoulders. Cheeks right into shoulders.
I love both of you guys, and also don't think of you as either of you guys walking up to somebody going, "You're dumber than me." Like that even happened was so shocking.
He said he has a
You're both
doctorate.
such nice guys.
He does have a doctorate.
And what does that even mean?
I'll fucking stick up for my pal Chris DiStefano.
I'm sticking up for him too. I love both these guys.
I like him.
It was really good radio. Like I'm trying to start a thing with Theo today just to make it keep it going.
He
it.
has a doctorate in rubbing out sore muscles.
Yeah, so I'm doing a little bit of just specific work.
Yeah,
And
you have a doctorate in rubbing out.
Yeah, rubbing out. Yeah.
A very specific muscle.
I gotta tell you that video, and it's up online, and we've tweeted it out. We'll tweet it again, right, Paul?
Yes, and we're also doing a Twitter poll right now.
A Twitter poll?
What's the poll?
Yeah, what's the poll?
Who's dumber, Theo or Chris?
Oh, my God.
no,
What the
that's
fuck is that
mean.
about?
No, because I know how dumb I am, man, and he's dumber than that.
You gotta,
Yes.
you gotta link the video in the Twitter poll so they could at least have a reference point. Because these guys,
If they haven't heard it.
these guys argued over glove or no glove yesterday. It was the dumbest argument ever.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was just like I didn't know why anyone was questioning anybody.
Well, yeah, he got keyed up about it, man, because I think you say, you never know when guys like him are going to flare up, when they, maybe somebody seems smarter in the room or, a bell goes off in the distance and he just flares up. And that's what kind of keyed it up.
I didn't get in there, but I was thinking if I was doing the orgasmic meditation, I would go no glove.
You can't do that. People's hands are dirty.
I'd go no glove, I'm thinking.
Wow, that's
because you're not really going in.
Who are you, though?
You said you're doing the upper left quadrant, so I'm thinking that's a no glove area.
No, you glove, dude. What
It wasn't a terrible question though. That's what's so funny about it is your reaction to I think you both keyed each other up. I mean, you obviously are more mellow. Like he was more angry.
Yeah.
But you definitely were like, that is the dumbest question I've ever heard.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody, Opie and me and everybody was like, well, yeah, it's a follow-up question that is interesting.
You know what I love? Doug just said Opie and me. Now, what's weird about that is I was in studio and Doug was somewhere out there listening to the
I'm sitting there listening to that. Me and Opie feel this way.
But how he envisioned it, we were all just hanging out together.
But that's beautiful. That's one
I
beautiful
always
thing
say
about
that,
Doug, is that he envisions everyone together all the time.
I gotta tell you, Doug
I could have texted in, but I was like, it sounds like Opie's got this.
Doug listens to the show a lot. He'll text me like, because, I'm not up on my movie references, and Doug gets a little frustrated by the movie stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm always like, the answer is Papillon.
Right, as we're just trying to search for the answer. Also, my phone is fired up, and I could tell you're just angrily texting, Jesus, this is an easy one.
I'm not mad about it. I just think it's funny. Or like when you say to somebody, oh, that's so smart of you to know that. And I'm like sitting there going, I know that.
They should let you on Jeopardy. They ever put you on there?
No, maybe someday I'll make Celebrity Jeopardy, but I can't. At this point, I can't really just audition. Plus, the test is really hard, and Celebrity Jeopardy is easy. So I think I would kill it on Celebrity Jeopardy.
That's a good question, though. I mean, you know movies. You've done the podcast, right?
But if a category is the Bible, I don't know anything unless it's been in a movie.
So, general knowledge, are you just okay?
Yeah, I'm not great at that.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a hard podcast, I feel like, but the fans love it, and that's what's amazing is just to see everybody out at Doug shows. If you haven't been to one of the Doug Loves Movies live tapings, go. You're just going to have a good time. It's a unique culture.
It's a party.
Cool. It is a party. I wish the world were like the vibe at those places. I
really enjoyed it. The fans give you a lot too, because
they're all into it, and it's a fun experience. People, like comedy shows, you've gotten this where people will tweet you, I don't have any friends to go with, so I'm not going to go. And it's like, yeah, I get that. In a nightclub for a comedian, you might not sit down next to people and just make friends. But the people that come to Doug Loves Movies all make friends with each other because they've all got these crazy signs that they bring, and they all have a passion for the show. So it's just really easy for them to just start talking about the show together.
Yeah.
You changing subjects just because we were talking about it right before the mics went on. So you get this seasonal allergies too, you were telling me.
Yeah.
Did it just kick in? I'm on day 3. I'm in constant contact with Dr. Steve. We're mixing and matching. I'm like, look, man, the fucking Allegra's not working. It's like, all right, try the Zyrtec. And then I'm doing nasal sprays. I got the Afrin over here. I got the Sudafed that's keeping me up at night because I'm I don't know.
Keyed up.
I've never found any of that stuff to work. I've found that just suffering through it is
I can't though.
kind of the way to go. But
I talk for a living.
The thing that I mentioned to you off air is that you should do the shots.
Well, I told you I got a doctor from Dr. Steve, this allergist up here, and I went to see him, and I was there for an hour. 57 and a half minutes, I would say. All he wanted to know about was Opie and Anthony and the radio show.
Yes, you need a doctor
this was a couple
that's
years
like
ago when
more
Ant was still
focused
around.
on your doctoring needs. Yeah.
So,
but the allergy shots, here's what happened, is I developed allergies pretty late in life. Like in my teens, I developed an allergy to cat hair, and I think it's just because I had a girlfriend whose family I hated, and they had a bunch of cats.
Oh yeah,
but then
cats will bust you too if you're peeing in the sink at somebody's house. I'll tell you this. Don't do it.
Wait, what?
I used to date this gal, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but it just flew into my brain.
Please, I'll try to remember where I was.
I know where you are, but I got to go over here for a second.
It flew into my brain.
So how does the cat bust you?
It's like a sick dove. So I was living with this girl briefly because I was going through some tough times financially, and we were in love. And I was over at her house staying there, and I've been urinating in the sink at night because I've always had some issues. When I was a child, I used to urinate around my bed at night to keep animals away. I used to be scared that animals were going to come and get me.
Wait, what kind of house did you live in that you were truly worried that animals were going to get you?
It's a scary neighborhood, man. A lot of ignorant whites and a lot of honestly dangerous brothers in the distance, and a lot of
of bedrooms that smelled like urine.
A lot of stray animals, yeah. And a lot of stray animals, stray Dobermans. I got to jump by a bunch of animals on my birthday one time.
So how many animals entered your house growing up?
Not many. And I think I had a lot to do with it, actually.
How weird is that? His answer is not many. My answer would be 0.
Yeah, no, he warded them off with the old pee around the bed trick.
I'd urinate right out front of our doors, front and back, dude.
And now that told the animals to get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
Don't come around.
I think it could have had some long-term effects. But here's what I'm thinking.
That or doors and windows. Being in a house.
Animals can thug a little. They'll come banging, bro, if they got enough of them.
Sure.
Right.
But I'll tell you this. So I'd been doing a little bit of urination at night into the sink, and the girls and the cats started peeing in the sink, and they'd never done that before. And the girl's mother figured it out. My girlfriend's mother figured it out, and they busted me, and we had to sit down in the living room. It was awkward, man. I mean, I was 31.
So wait, so they figured out if the cat's peeing in the sink, that means somebody else had to have peed there.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
pretty awkward.
That's some Columbo shit right there.
Oh, dude, that's Encyclopedia Brown grows up right there, man.
So
they got me.
Did you ever pee in the toilet growing up?
Yeah, I did sometimes, man. But I don't want to waste it.
I think you still have plausible deniability on the I didn't pee in the sink just because they think somebody peed in the sink because the cat's doing it.
You're right. I maybe I am
you
still
could have
hiding
just
it.
denied it.
Oh, you're saying I could have denied it?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
It's totally plausible to just go, what are you talking about? The cat's peeing in the sink. Get it to stop.
Right.
Change it to, like, we need this cat to stop.
Right. Especially because you're 30.
Damn, I just admitted
Especially because you're 31. So you're like, damn, seriously? You think I'm peeing in the sink at 31?
Yeah, that would have been a much better excuse, dude.
Was your mom and dad cool with you peeing around your bed?
No, my mother didn't. I mean, it was just really just my mom, but they didn't care, man. There wasn't time to worry
I've heard
about
of
that.
peeing the bed, but not peeing near the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So weird.
Yeah.
I used to pee near, around. I used to sneak out and pee out the front and back doors, dude, to keep animals away from us.
Okay.
Boy,
So-
as soon as you open that door, though, you're vulnerable as you're peeing to keep them away. They could have fucking attacked you from above or something.
Run up and bite your dick.
Oh, I got
Right.
to jump by two dogs on my birthday once, and one of them was black and one of them was a different color, but they
Why
got
does
me.
color have to come into it?
One of them was, man. Because because it's an issue in like
That's why.
poor neighborhood.
Because one of them was, man.
Black dogs are worse than white dogs.
I'm not
man.
saying that, dude, but I'm saying that
You're saying the details matter.
they got me. But anyway, I interrupted you, Doug.
No,
It's just allergy talk.
yeah, and we got we got plenty of time here.
Uh,
I got to ask the story of getting jumped by the Dobermans. It's your
Yeah, I got
birthday party,
jumped.
and what happened?
Ran out the door, dude. I was so excited. It was a celebration, and I think I was maybe a 9. I go running, and one dog, I think, had been on the roof almost waiting, and then they had another dog came and got me from the side, and both of them got me. And there even could have been another dog, dude, really lit into me. Had to go to the hospital and get my leg, get some stitches in my leg and get a rabies shot, because this is when rabies was big. A lot of people were doing rabies or had rabies, I guess they say. Unless you enjoyed it, then doing it. But yeah, they got me, and then a couple years later, one of them came back, and I saw him milling around, and just always made me scared. It just made me very scared of animals, because we just had stray animals in our neighborhood. I remember they had Rottweilers and big dogs that would just attack you,
Just wander around. I got bit by a German Shepherd on my paper route. Like I was maybe 12. I'm scared of German Shepherds to this day. When I see them, I still fucking get like a little freaked out.
Yeah.
They scare the shit out of me. Hold on a second. I got to go to Steve in Brooklyn. He's amazed by everything, I guess. Steve, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm stuck in traffic yesterday about 6:15 on 70th Street, just above Amsterdam, and I see some guy running, huffing and puffing, eyes wide. I'm expecting to see like 5 cops behind him, and he goes past me, and who is it other than Mr. Greg Opie Hughes?
What time was it?
6:15.
Oh my God! I was gonna
You're
say
running late. Your wife had yoga.
Yeah, there's the answer. Theo just gave it. I was ready to go. You're full of shit, because there's always an Opie sighting somewhere. But you're right. I was running home because my wife had to get to yoga.
I just wanted to make sure everything was all right, because I was expecting to see either 5 cops or a big dog or something behind me.
A German Shepherd behind me.
Yeah, 2 dogs, one of them not white.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Steve. That definitely, I can't deny it. I had to get home quick yesterday. Quick!
And by the way, this
funny.
is like, don't ever meet your idols and stuff like that. I'm expecting, Greg Hughes to be, going around in a limousine everywhere and stuff like that. And here he is running, huffing and puffing down the streets of Manhattan.
Hey, man, I'm in good shape. It's the allergies. I can't breathe properly right now. I'm heavy in the chest, my brother.
Every man is most husbands spend their whole lives just running to help their wives get to yoga. That's really just the existence, I guess.
Yes. All right.
That's funny.
Thank you, Steve. Honestly, I wasn't going to take that. I wanted to take a call that someone said that you're an animal. They're like, who the fuck pees in a sink?
Well, I'm sorry, man.
I peed in a sink once.
Yeah, once.
I think I have too.
No, I was on a...
If you've done it once, brother, here's my question. How have you not done it again?
More? It's perfect. I think...
it's a beautiful
I think
place.
everyone should be peeing in the sink because it's right there.
High Pissers.
It's
I used to run a website called highpissers.com, and it was about raising pissers.
If my hotel room
18 inches.
toilet is like clogged up because I use too much toilet paper, then you got to pee somewhere. So it's the shower or the sink or something, or out the window.
Well, my story really quick. I was on a double date with my best friend. Growing up, we were like, I don't know. I think we were freshmen in college, and we were home for the summer. And we had these 2 girls. We barely knew them, and we were drinking pitchers of beer. And it was time for me to take a leak. I went in the bathroom, and there was a long line, and I wanted to get back to what we were doing. So I peed in the sink, and then I felt the arm behind me, the hard hand grabbing me really hard, and he goes, "You're out of here. You can't fucking pee in our sink." So then I had to go back to the table. I go, "Dude, could you at least be cool?" So he walks about a couple feet behind me, and then I'm like, "We got to go," and they're all laughing like, "Ha ha ha! What do you mean we got to go?" I'm like, "We got to go," and then they're like, "Why do we have to go?" And I came clean. I'm like, I got caught peeing in the sink. I didn't even know this girl that well,
And her father caught you.
No, it was like a bouncer or something at the bar.
Oh, at a bar.
And that kind of...
I got caught peeing in the sink. Yeah, I never got caught, man.
Well, I mean, it was a long line. I'm like, fuck it, I'll pee real fast. I'll get back to my beers. And
the bouncer came up and said, we just saw a cat pissing in our sink. And then he figured out that Opie was the one customer.
You shouldn't have admitted to it, dude. You could have easily been like,
he just saw you
he
doing it.
He caught me in midstream.
But that hard hand on the shoulder when you're up to something is so bad.
I'm like, oh, shit.
You can feel it. We can all feel that.
And then I had to tell everyone why we were leaving because I didn't have a better excuse. So I'm like, I might as well just tell them.
Did it ruin it with the girl?
You know what? My memory doesn't serve me well. I think that was pretty much it. Yes.
Because I think a lot of girls would be okay with the line was long and I wanted to get back to you.
I can honestly tell you, I don't even know what we did after that. I feel like the night was done and we were dropping them off.
Then you just went from bar to bar.
And then me and my buddy just went out drinking after that.
Well, urine is such a... it's such a bothersome thing.
It really is. Like, I got to go right now.
Yeah, and how miserable is that? I know we want to be here with Doug. We want to spend time with him. But we know that urine is just tapping him on the shoulder from the inside and just begging him to go somewhere.
But sometimes urine is nice and pure. It doesn't smell or any of that shit when you're drinking a lot of water. And then other times you're peeing, you're like, well, like an asparagus pee or something. You're like, woo, Nelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that asparagus, I don't know why we ever eat it. Whoever gets that smell and goes, oh, I'm glad I ate that asparagus.
Anyway, so allergies, cats.
Oh, yeah. So cats ended up being a thing, but I just stayed away from cats or took Allegra whenever I was around cats, and that seemed to work. And then, many years later, one summer, I was just very dizzy all the time. And I went to the doctor, and they're like, we don't know what this is. We don't know why you're dizzy. And they said, but, maybe an allergist could figure it out. Maybe it's allergies. Then I went to an allergist, and they told me they did the pinpoint test on my arm, and they figured out that I was allergic to everything. I somehow developed, I wasn't allergic as a kid, but as an adult, I was allergic to everything.
What do you mean everything?
Yeah, like what?
Weed, grass, pollen.
Almonds, I bet.
Just all the things that they test you for.
If you're allergic to weed, are you allergic to pot?
That's.
What if you're allergic
it's funny. Every once in a while, I'll get really sneezy after getting high, and I'll joke, "Oh, I'm allergic to this strain," but there may be some truth to it.
Okay. When I was growing up, we went to the doctor because I had what they thought was asthma, but the doctor at the time goes, yeah, you might have asthma, but he might be allergic to something. And then the whole thing, we could send him to an allergist and get the testing. But I grew up pretty poor, one of 7 kids. So my mom's like, asthma's good enough.
Right.
So I never went to the allergist. And then it turns out, because years later, when I was finally getting a little money coming in, I did the right thing. I went to an allergist. And it turned out I was allergic to dogs and cats my entire life, which we always had in the house. So it wasn't asthma. I was just allergic to the dogs.
Well, when you're 7th child, there's not much.
I was second in.
Oh, you were?
They should have been taken care of second in.
Oh, because the 7th kid is usually just
number 7. Fuck him.
Oh, the 7th kid
and
is
his
just
twin brother.
A twig of a human. The 7th child. There's nothing left in the womb for him to really make that boy.
No, man. Second out.
Yeah,
I
was
first out. I have a half sister that's 6 years older. So I was first out with my mom and dad.
Wow, first out,
and they were already saying no allergists for you. You got asthma.
But now you can, go to somebody that maybe find one that hates your radio shows.
I could talk about
or doesn't know you from radio. And then, because what happened to me is I started taking shots, and they were like weekly every 3 or 4 days at first, and then weekly pretty soon after that, and then eventually monthly.
Right.
And then after a couple of years of doing that, at one point, the allergist said, how are your allergies? And I said, oh, they're sometimes they're a little bad, but for the most part, they're okay. And they said, well, just continuing the shots probably isn't going to change anything.
Right.
And so now you're at where you're at. So now I just have really bad days on occasion, but it's almost like getting a cold or something.
Yeah.
Where it's bad for a while, but also you're stuck here all the time.
Right.
in a new city every 3 or 4 days. So
you got new
that
stuff.
helps.
Oh, it helps.
New hotel rooms,
it helps.
Yeah, well, sometimes I'll walk into something and go, oh, this is terrible.
Oh, because you're walking.
But it's usually getting away from it.
You're leaving allergies.
Oh. Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, I only get in the spring and summer spring and fall, for about 10 days, and then I'm good, more or less the rest of the year.
Allergies sucks, man, I think.
Huh?
Allergies, thinking about it, dude. Like, what are we? We're allergic to things?
Well, I mean, I guess, we're not supposed to survive. If you're allergic, I'm allergic to trees and grass. I think I wasn't supposed to, if I came from another time, I think I was the one that was supposed to be, thrown off the cliff or something.
Maybe you were supposed to be a fish.
I don't think we were created to, to have other people who are doctors and dentists and all the things we need to survive.
Yeah.
It's,
I know.
Humanity's fucking weird.
It is weird. So then, in between the O&A stories with this guy a couple years ago, he's like, well, tell me about the 6% thing. And I'm telling him, and I'm like, but what about the allergy? He goes, oh, yeah, you're allergic to everything. Anyway, and then he goes back to the O&A stuff. And then it turns out it was trees, grass. So I go, trees and grass? Okay, what kind of trees and grass do I have to avoid? He goes, trees and grass, meaning all of it.
It's not,
no specific strains or a specific tree or grass.
You got to get a skateboard then and an umbrella, brother.
And then it's cats, dogs, and then it's pits, basically. Any fruit with a pit, supposedly, I'm allergic to. Oh. And I think that's more or less.
Yeah, we didn't find any food allergies for me, but I wouldn't be surprised if they existed.
I can't eat apples. How stupid is that?
Oh, that's
Do you know
insane.
anyone
I just had an apple.
I love apples, but I could eat apple pie.
I only like apples when they're sliced up already. I don't like biting into an apple. There's something too
I saw you
rough about it.
I saw you smoke through an apple.
Yeah. I'll stick a pen through an apple and make it into a pipe, but I don't want to bite into it.
I've seen him smoke through an apple.
Have you? Oh, I smoked through an apple with this fella named Big Richard that ended up being a pedophile that went to jail, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, people should have figured out Big Richard also goes by Big Dick, and that's just not right.
Yeah, we didn't know. They didn't tell us.
You were around way too many pedophiles, I'm starting to notice. Yesterday you were talking about playing kickball with pedophiles.
We used to play kickball.
And now you got Big Richard.
Big Richard was in more of my younger years. I was a middle-aged child whenever I met him. But yeah, man, it was when you get into poverty areas, bro, that's where the pedophiles hang out. People think they keep getting evicted from HOA areas, people that have HOAs, until everybody's just milling around out in the street. With Brendan Dassey and the guys from
It's tough to be like a homeless pedophile, though. I mean, you got to be presentable.
I think what
to get near the children.
That's true. That's a good point. There must be a different struggle there.
I think what he's saying is some of these towns have so much other shit to worry about that they're not, worrying about the pedophiles moving in and out.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, pedophiles get away with, a lot everywhere, I think. Because it's just such it's hard to wrap your head around. Remember when Louis C.K. had that whole monologue about how, it must be good to be a pedophile, because otherwise, why take the risk?
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty brilliant. It's a brilliant
it was
bit.
super brilliant, but he took a lot of heat for it because it's just like people just don't even want to begin to think about that.
Right.
Like they don't even want to think that just any guy.
Yeah, if you're going down that road, it's got to be.
Or a lady. I guess there's, I don't know how many lady pedophiles there are.
I would say a lot less.
I mean, there certainly are less. There's less violence with women in general, and less rape.
A lot of these broads are getting pretty keyed up, I feel like, and they're out there doing more pedophiling and doing.
The teachers?
Well, there's the teachers, but that's that's like I've heard you talk about this on the show a lot. It's like the teenage boys; they're practically men. Like they've got all the equipment, they're ready to go.
It was all our dreams growing up to maybe have sex with our teacher. I don't know if the females thought the same thing.
I don't think I ever had one that was hot enough that I wanted to have sex with her.
Oh, we had a French teacher that smelled real nice and stereotypical. I'll even say bosoms instead of boobs.
God,
the bosoms were hanging out, and she smelled good, and she kind of
why any teacher puts on a sexy outfit. She
kind of had a vibe about her, but
weird.
With that said, I don't. There's no story there. Nobody came forward and said that something was going on there, but. Do you think the women growing up, their dream was to bang the male teachers? As much as we had that dream?
Well, that's more of a college thing. Like the girls that have daddy issues want to have sex with their professors.
Yeah, they want to get that grade out of their pen.
Well, that too, I guess, maybe. But that seems more like just the scenario in a pornography.
Yeah, that could be true, man.
You know, I want better grades. You know, it's like every time they're in a teacher-student relationship.
They had a boy, I remember, he had a big crush on the teacher, and he thought the teacher liked him.
Yeah.
And this kid named Nicholas, and one day he sat in the back of the class, and he kind of put his penis and his balls out of his pants.
Oh, no.
And thinking like that was going to be
She's
like...
going to see that. And
That's the move.
And that was not the move, dude.
Oh, shit.
That is the opposite of a move. Oh, my God.
That was the opposite of the move?
Oh, he told me about it, dude, and I was like, that's a good idea, bro. And I knew it wasn't a good idea.
Right.
And so I sat far away from him that day just so I could see the idea from far away.
That's funny.
And it was a bad idea, man. And I remember her seeing it and him just kind of like... And then that was it.
Wow, why not, like, wait till the whole class is gone and do something like that? Even then, it's risky, but...
He wasn't bright.
You wait, you're the last kid out of the classroom, right?
Yeah.
You wait and
give her a nice apple.
And then, then you pull out your shit and drop it on her desk when there's no one else in the classroom. Hey, with the new show, I want to definitely take more phone calls, and the phones are lit. So let's just try this out a little bit here. Let's say hi to Kevin in Virginia. Kevin.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Theo, have you been over to the creepy apartment and gotten any more gay haircuts?
I haven't been back there, actually. I'm trying a new style right now. I'm just kind of letting my hair kind of just take some of its own adventures.
Was it a gay haircut? I mean, I don't
Allegedly.
think I don't think it was nice of Kevin to say, have you gone and got any more gay haircuts?
Oh, I looked at a video yesterday where I had pretty much the most homosexual haircut that could be possible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised there weren't men behind my hair just fucking it. But that haircut wasn't that great. But I think it's okay now. I'm just trying to just let it go, bud. You know?
It looks good.
Thanks, man.
The situation was a little gay and creepy.
Yeah, I agree. I met a man, went up to his apartment, and got my hair cut. I'll agree. Not a safe
really
choice.
Strange. What makes a gay haircut?
These days, I don't know. It used to be if you had like the same cut as somebody that had like a mental illness, you know? Like,
You mean like if you had the Hannibal Lecter? Or
yeah, like if you had, they had a couple of keyed up haircuts. There's a few right there.
The Forrest
12
Gump.
monkeys?
The Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
That's how they should have them.
Sling blade.
That's how they should have them in the barbershop.
Yeah.
You want the Forrest Gump, the
I don't
sling
think he was
blade.
mentally ill. He was like on the spectrum, I think.
Yeah, he was on the
That's
spectrum.
true, but it just was fun to say Forrest Gump.
Yeah, and he did have a fucked up haircut.
Right.
Yeah, if you had a family cut, they used to call that a family cut when I was growing up. If somebody in your family cut your hair, my nieces have family cuts, and they're beautiful children, but their hair is bad. Their hair looks just like an older man's hair would look if he were kind of doing a mullet. There's no difference between like a mullet and like a 6-year-old girl's haircut.
So just if you don't have the money, let the girl's hair grow.
Yeah, I just think families shouldn't cut hair. I think that should be kind of a law.
Right. All right, Kevin, thank you. We're going to go to Andrew Andrew on Long Island. What's up?
Hey, Ope, what's going on, buddy?
Hanging with Theo Von and Doug Benson today.
Okay. So, well, Theo, that haircut story is probably one of the gayest stories I've ever heard, but that's besides the point. I was
He's bothered by your...
Wait, you've never heard a story that ended in like dick sucking? Because that'd probably be gayer than getting a haircut and leaving.
Thanks, Doug.
Well, he
You're
went to
welcome.
some stranger's apartment to get his hair cut.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird, certainly, but I'll stick up for Theo. He's an adventurer. He comes to New York and he wants to fucking experience things.
Yeah.
Wants to get his fingers into some things.
Yeah, dude, I've done steroids on the side of the interstate, dude, with a homosexual gentleman who died, actually, because he drove into an embankment when he was on a bunch of pills, but Billy Conforto, rest in peace. But, yeah, I've made some poor choices, man. What's your question?
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, what's your point?
No way to bring this.
What's your gay point?
With your pill story. So anyway, not to step on Dr. Steve's toes, but I was calling about the allergy shots and stuff. And I know you talk a lot about you suffer from allergies and stuff, and I actually also I can't eat apples either, but I can also eat apple pie. It's a weird allergy. But the thing is about the allergy shots. At a point, they're kind of bullshit because it's just to get you to keep coming back into the office so they can bill you.
Well, that's why I said the guy I went to was just up front and just like, it's not going to continue to do anything more for you, because you've got so much you've had the shot so many times. So I was glad that he let me off the hook, but at the same time, I don't feel cured.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's a good doctor, I guess. You know, has got a head on his shoulders doing the right thing. But, you know, you can have doctors who will just say, oh, yeah, you know, it'll, you know, keep coming in for these shots. You need them. And it's really just to get you to come back in. But you know, taking Allegra or one of these stuff like over the counter is actually going to do, you know, just as much for you. You might be a little bit drowsy, but those shots, like, you know, like I said, after a while, they're not doing anything for you.
But don't you think initially they're helpful?
Initially, yes. Initially, they're absolutely helpful.
So I say try it briefly just to feel better for at least a little while. And also, I just feel better in general since I did them. Like, when I do have problems, it's not as bad and it's not as often.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is like, you know, for those type of seasonal allergy stuff, it is just to feel better. I'm not talking about things that, you know, are something called anaphylactic shock, which is where you're so allergic to something you could actually die from it. Like, you know, people have penicillin allergies or you know, allergic to bees or peanuts.
Or moving
like
into an urban neighborhood.
Yeah, or going into men's apartments.
Yeah, getting a gay haircut.
You're right.
Right on, man.
Theo, you could absolutely die from that in the same way you could die from anaphylactic shock. I mean, God bless you're an adventurer, but holy shit, dude, that's some poor decision making.
Yeah, you're right. I do have some poor decision making skills, man, and I'm basically an alcoholic. But I'm getting better.
Did the building have a doorman? Because that's always good, because you could look at him and go, remember me.
As you're going upstairs.
Yeah. Do not forget I went up here.
Right, to a stranger's apartment to get a haircut.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew, thank you, buddy.
All right, love the new show. Great to hear you, buddy.
We're just getting started, but I do appreciate that. Thanks, Andrew. My brother just reminded me that, yeah, when we were growing up as kids, we got one fucking haircut a year. I forgot all about that.
Oh, wow. Really?
And it was a crew cut. We went crew cut. Hair would grow all year long. It would be looking good down to the shoulders, looking nice.
Yeah.
And then soon, my mom was cool enough at least to wait for school to be over. And then that day after school was over, we marched to the barber and all of us fucking
Shave 'em.
all the way down to nothing. I had one haircut a year.
It's a good summer cut.
Like Irish sheep, huh?
And one pair of sneakers a year.
Yeah, we had one pair of sneakers. I remember that.
You're in the one pair of sneakers club?
Yeah.
A year?
That's worse than the haircut thing, because sneakers can blow out at any time.
Dude, especially as kids. How many miles do you put on your feet as a kid, you think?
Yeah.
All the miles, usually. If you don't have a
just
car.
takes the wrong, you know, like construction site that you're playing in.
A nice
You
nail
ruin
through
a
the bottom.
shoe, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
No, we only got one pair, and that was it.
Yeah, and sometimes, and if you lost those shoes or something happened, then you had to really come upon another pair of shoes somehow. So you had to wear like a church shoe or.
We never lost our shoes because we knew we weren't getting another pair. I'm telling you right now, that was the most valuable thing we had growing up, even with the holes in them. Like, don't lose your shoes. We even used the sneakers in the wintertime. We didn't have fucking boots. So we put the plastic bags on.
Yeah, and what is it now that kids have like 20 pairs of shoes and they're so expensive? Like, it's different, right?
Dude, my kids go through shoes every couple months.
Do they ever line up to buy shoes?
What do you mean?
You know how it's like when the new shoes go on sale, kids line up for them?
I got one of those stores in my neighborhood.
Where you see the line all the time?
Yeah, when
It used to be called Russia, I think, didn't it?
No, they're like,
we're talking about like the
really
LeBron James or whatever.
yeah.
the fuck.
fancy kicks.
Yeah, these guys will set up shop and get their beach chairs out and hang out all night waiting for the store to
For
open.
shoes.
Fairfax Ave in Los Angeles,
yeah.
you'll drive by and there'll just be a line of people waiting to get in. You probably go, look at all those brothers.
Yeah.
When you will drive by.
I never understood the
It's
sneaker.
a lot of fancy hats, some mixed people.
I never understood the sneaker culture. I just never understood it. I every once in a while I'll come across a pair of sneakers or something like, hey, that's kind of cool, and I'll buy them. But besides that, I just never understood. Especially they buy them and never wear them.
Never wear them. It's a collecting thing, and for some reason, sneakers just got everybody. Like, it's almost like there's so many people that love it that they're just indoctrinating more. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just a thing that just keeps going.
Well, Patrice O'Neal was famous for buying all sorts of sneakers. He would come in with a pair of sneakers, and every once in a while I'm like, damn, Patrice, that's a really nice pair of sneakers. And then I would learn that he's only wearing it for the first and only time.
Yeah.
And then I go, then what? He goes, then I put it in the box and I put it in my closet. I'm like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Well, did they have something like that when we were kids? What was that? What was the thing when we were kids that people waited like that for? Do you remember? I'm trying to think of a correlation.
Well, movies. You had to wait in line for movies.
Yeah.
Right. Concert tickets.
Yes.
concert tickets.
Overnight for concert
tickets.
tickets.
That's a biggie.
Big one.
And for me, I was into golf growing up. Bethpage Black out there on Long Island, which has become now legendary because finally the PGA is using it. You would have to line up and wait to get a tee time. So we would get out there like 3 a.m. and just sleep in our cars in a line, and then we would get our tee time and play golf. That's more of an obscure thing, I understand. But people on Long Island right now are like, fuck yeah, thanks for the local reference. Hey, Louis, what do you got on the sneakers?
It's now like a hustle for younger kids because they really can't get jobs. So they'll have their mom buy them a pair of sneakers and they'll go wait in line, or they'll have their grandparents, and then they'll just sell them online for triple the price. And that's how they get paid. And they really don't stop doing it when they get older.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
So it's a business. It's a business.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense because they're so dedicated and they have folding chairs they sit in. Like they're there for a long time.
Yeah, but I think the whole thing changed because I bet you at first the people that were online were the ones that were hardcore and really wanted the sneakers, and then those same people were thinking, I just got to hang out at home and I'll get them online eventually.
I'm sure there's still some people in line that just love it.
Yeah,
that just want the shoes.
I never understood it, and then a lot of times I look at these sneakers and like, oh man, they're give me one. I don't know. We're looking at a few right now. I don't understand why that's a cool ass sneaker right now.
It's name brand. It's just branding, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know Jordans, but who cares?
And the styles and the there's a lot to it. Like there's it's like it's collecting anything. I collected a lot of weird, stupid things when I was a kid.
We're looking at the Air Jordan 12 wool. Go back.
There's more colors now. I mean, when I was young, they only had about maybe 14 or 15 colors. Remember that?
Are you blown away by that sneaker, seeing it?
I kind of like it. It's all black, which I like because you can step in a puddle and it doesn't ruin it.
Right. I mean, it's okay.
Air Jordan Retro Wool, and I bet you with the wool on there, it's probably kind of a warm shoe. It's kind of a warm sneaker.
$300.
$300, man.
Yeah, sneakers are pricey.
It's like a hotel for your feet, man. I'm out.
Being in show business, we get free shoes every once in a while as part of the wardrobe process. Have you had that happen ever?
Nope.
No? Because they got to put shoes on you because you can't have brands, obvious brands on your clothes on TV. So sometimes I'll just get, free shoes and I just ride on those for a while, Do
they want them back ever?
No. Generally, somebody put them up, and then I've got some that have like a big swoosh on them or whatever. But I like to ride a pair out until they're just like it's just silly to still wear them,
of course,
and then start a new pair, even though I have plenty of pairs.
Yeah.
I just like comfort. I'm just into just feeling good.
Oh, I love comfort.
I'm finally to the point in my life. I think I got 4 pairs of sneakers. I'm up to 4. That's it.
Nah, you're living high on the
And one of
hog.
them is a workout shoe. So,
I've actually got one pair of shoes that are a collectible that I saved for that I bought and saved for that reason. When the movie Aliens came out, there's a scene where where Ripley gets into that robot fighting machine thing, and she's got like special shoes on. This picture reminded me of it. These shoes are like kind of complicated, like hers were, And my friend I saw Whoopi Goldberg somewhere saying that she had a pair of these shoes called, they were from Nike or maybe Adidas, but they're called
Pussy Getters.
They're called Alien Stompers, and they're just really futuristic and big and clunky, and like I never thought that it'd be something I'd wear, but somebody tipped me off to it that they were like, they only made so many of them, so I bought a pair. And is this them? Are you actually finding the shoe?
The Alien Stompers?
Look at that thing. Wow. I have a pair of those.
They look like ski boots.
Yeah, right? They're just it's too much, but I still like that it's based on a shoe that was worn by Sigourney Weaver in the Aliens film.
That's awesome.
So,
When you walk around,
I have those in my closet. Every time I put them on, I go, oh, these are ridiculous.
Okay, good.
So I never wear them anywhere, but Pete Davidson would wear those.
Oh, definitely.
He'd wear the shit
Someone
out of
telling
them.
me that Pete Davidson, what were you saying, Paul? It was actually you.
Line 3 said that Pete Davidson wore $10,000 shoes at the roast.
Wow. There you go.
Let me say
I called that one.
Rich, you should have called yesterday when Pete was in here.
He's changed.
Sneaky conversation wasn't happening yesterday.
That's right.
Yeah, he had
Fair enough.
He had on a pair of they're called Air Mags, M-A-G, you can look them up. And they sell from $10,000 to $15,000 on eBay. They're the Back to the Future sneakers. They have electronic laces.
Yeah, the like
crazy.
And he wore them at the roast.
Laces.
Wow. How much?
They're crazy.
I bet you someone gave them to him, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I bet it was a promotional kind of thing.
I don't understand why those are $10,000.
A baby could sleep in one of Pete Davidson
They got electricity in them, brother?
Yeah, what's that?
You got to see it. I don't know how they do it. Some kind of fiber optic something or other.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
The way you got, just look at on YouTube. You see the way it comes boxed like a big project. It's crazy.
Do you are you into the whole sneaker thing yourself?
I was, but now I have kids that are. I can't afford it for myself. I get them for my kids.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's mostly Jordans. Mostly Jordans that are, he wore for special occasions. Like the game he played when he had the flu.
Yeah.
Those shoes are very hard to buy. You can't find those. The 11s, they're called the Concord 11s. Those are other ones. They'll cost you anywhere upwards of $350.
Yeah, I know they have a low for that Alonzo Mourning wore when he had pink eye one time. That are very
really.
Yeah, they're high end too. Huh. There's a lot of when people get diseases or an affliction and they still compete or whatever or still do something. I guess that makes the shoe more valuable.
Well, the flu game with Jordan was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. He had no energy in between, being on the court, and he pretty much collapsed after the game. It was unbelievable. You remember that game, right, Rich?
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, all right, let me let you. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Just one more. Then there's another pick called the Double Nickels when he dropped 55 on the Knicks.
Right.
Those sneakers are hard to get, also. But love the show, Opie. Great job.
All right, Rich.
Congratulations, and happy to have you back. Punching out.
All right, thank you, buddy. Oh, we got to play the Shep Smith video. Yes, I should introduce my friend Stunt Brain. Have you guys ever met?
We haven't met in person, but I hear him on the show all the time and sit there and shake my head.
He works for the.
You're not alone.
He works for the Blaze. That
no, I like listening to you. I think you're a very reasonable person.
Doug Stunt Brain's an old school radio guy too. We've been through a few wars.
You beat me up a little bit.
Oh man, no, I never beat you.
No,
up personally.
You didn't. The audience did occasionally.
Oh yeah, and he worked for us for a while there when we had a real fucked up situation. But
this Shep thing you're looking at.
Yeah,
I got a little tip for you. There is a supercut of all of his meltdowns from yesterday. The Washington Free Beacon just posted it. It is freaking hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
And it's all of it. So if you go to Free Beacon on YouTube,
it's better than the little clip we were going to play.
It's got the little clip in it.
Okay.
And it's all of him getting overly dramatic, and it's just great.
Yeah.
And you remember him during Katrina? He was on the ground in New Orleans going, there is a body on the bridge and police cars just driving past a dead old man. It's fantastic. He goes way over the top.
He loves the fear-mongering.
It's great.
We're looking for it right now. Is this it?
If you don't listen to Shepard Smith, you will die.
Oh, yeah,
This is it.
All right, let me see this.
This storm will kill you. It will kill your children. It will kill your pets and everyone you know who wants to mess with it. This is a house. Mm-hmm. See that?
Now it's not a house.
You can't play the audio because there's a wordy dirt in there. Somebody said a dirty word. We have round-the-clock Team Fox smotherage for the rest of your life on this thing. We'll be live all night long tonight. I won't be because I'm going to a family wedding. And Matthew is expected to be stronger and last longer than Katrina. You see what I'm saying? This moves 20 miles to the west, and you and everyone you know are dead. All of you. Because you can't survive it. It's not possible. And your kids die too. Do it now. Or risk death on a freeway in a traffic jam from hell later. Don't let your children die in your house. Not nearly as mad as they'll be at you if they're dead. Look at this fool. But not everybody's listening. Because freedom and stuff. Freedom. And that will be very bad. I want to get to Dolores Berhalter. She's dumb. I'll ask her why she's staying and if she expects us to cover her funeral.
I will, honey. Thanks for your concern.
Boy.
Bye. Bye.
Mean. Very mean. All right, go put some water in the tub or something. Wash your hair. I don't know. This is silly. Because if too many of you perish, they'll send me down there. And I need to go to this wedding.
Oh my god,
he's the greatest.
He's
all of that was like in the last
yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's just pretty much
just in his one show.
Yes.
Yeah, how long is he on for?
He's on for a couple hours.
Most of our lives.
But 2 hours. That was a lot. He kept saying it over and over again.
He's at that stage of his career. He doesn't give a fuck.
He's fearless.
I'm gonna have fun now.
Well, he cares about people, I guess. I mean, that he wants them to not die. But shit.
It's also a man who made it through. I mean, he was there during the Katrina thing. He's seen a lot of this too, and at a certain point, he probably sees a lot of it as stupidity.
Yeah,
like people get your.
It does get you a little angry when people aren't listening, but then at the same time, they've been talking up the first part of the storm and hitting Florida, and it's been bad, but it's not
as
evacuation bad.
Right. Yeah, parts of this storm haven't been as bad as they
I don't want to discourage people from evacuating because it's going to come back stronger, they say.
I told the story yesterday. I'll tell it again really fast. Outer Banks, and we had to evacuate, and it was mandatory. And me and my brother were looking at each other, and we're like, let's fucking stay.
Yeah.
And then we were talking to some of the locals, and they're like, just park your cars behind the house. They barely check. They just drive by the houses. They don't see cars in the driveway. They assume you're not there. Keep the lights off, and then you could fucking ride out the storm.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a newborn at the time, and my wife, and I understand now, she's like, come on, we gotta fucking go. You can't take the chance. And I'm like, but me and my brother were actually studying the weather maps, and especially my brother, he's like, this isn't going to be as bad as they're saying. You could just tell. And it's the fear mongering, it's the Al Roker, and it's everybody else screaming and yelling that you're going to die, like Shep Smith in this clip. And then fast forward, we're leaving with everything. This is our 2-week vacation, and all the locals are on their porches making fun of us, going, bye, idiots.
Yep.
This is going to be nothing. We've seen way worse. And you got to follow the locals because they know. They're down there all the time.
Well, a lot of them get a sense in their bones, too. Some of them are like, what's that animal that can tell when it's going to rain? A mule? What is it? Bird? What is it, Douglas?
I didn't know we had a weather animal.
I didn't know there was a specific one.
Oh, they have countless.
Well, there's roosters are on weather vanes.
Maybe.
What you're thinking of?
Huh?
Owls? Cows.
Cows
lay down.
Cows lay down.
Yeah, cows
they
will
lay down.
You're right.
Because they got shitty knees.
Yes.
A little moisture in the air. They got to lay down.
They're like, this is going to be a lot of wind.
Fuck?
I'm laying down.
What the hell's wrong with them?
But a lot of animals, man. Well, Roker and them, them guys, they probably get kickbacks from Days Inn and a lot of those middle area hotels and motels. So they get
they're
kickbacks.
all full. That's why everyone has to evacuate because
but they telling people to leave so that they can get that kickback money.
To this day, I hate Al Roker.
Go stay with
always
friends.
hated him.
Because the 2-week vacation in the Outer Banks, when I knew it wasn't that bad, I started tweeting them and screaming. And then when I got back on the radio, I'm yelling at them like, "You're ruining people's fucking vacations because you're fear mongering because you want people to watch longer."
Yeah, because you want to be skinny and wear a yellow suit. That's what he wants to do.
You notice he wasn't there. He was not there, but they sent Lester Holt, which means
for this one.
Yeah, he was down in Melbourne in the middle of it, which means somebody at the network said you screwed up on that debate.
I said the same thing in my living room today. I'm like, this is your punishment. Yeah. This is so sad. He's in the middle of the rain and wind now.
He's got a parka on. All you can see is his face, and he's got slammed by wind.
Glasses? You saw the designer glasses?
Like goggles. He looked like
were they goggles?
Lou Alcindor when Jabbar used to wear his goggles.
Right.
Trying to kill Lester.
What did he do wrong in the debate?
They said he wasn't strong enough.
Wasn't forceful and getting in
I thought he was great because I didn't notice him.
Yeah, I didn't mind him. I would rather the candidates go back and forth.
If he jumped in every time Trump interrupted, then it's just like, then it's even more of a mess. Because Trump likes, that's what I loved about the Alec Baldwin sketch, is just the gag of like the quick interruption.
Yeah.
Wrong, no. Warmer.
That was great, dude.
It's really funny.
That was an unbelievable sketch.
Yeah,
they did a great job, dude.
Theo, you know Stunt Brain? He's an old radio guy.
But I believe in it, man. Are you from Rochester as well?
No. Chicago guy originally.
Oh, yeah.
And then some New York action.
25 years.
He worked with us for a little bit. He's at the Blaze. He's, I think he's a Ted fucking Cruz supporter.
I would have voted for Ted Cruz. I would have voted for Ted Cruz tomorrow.
Yeah, I would too.
His skin is kind of...
At this point.
Yeah, at this point...
Isn't
it crazy? At this point, we'd take anybody.
Yeah.
Letterman gave Trump a beating today.
Why not?
Did you read any of that
I
stuff?
didn't see that.
I saw some dummy tweeting, Letterman's just doing this for attention. It's just like, come on.
No, Letterman doesn't
The
need
man is a fucking recluse.
Yeah, he decided he doesn't.
It's the last thing he wants.
If anything, he's like saying it just to get it out there that Trump sucks,
He walks around like he's from a deserted island. He doesn't want the attention.
When he sold the clips because he didn't have to sell those clips of Trump saying where all the stuff was made.
Oh,
remember
wow.
that?
Yeah,
that
sure.
first commercial that Hillary put out that was so good.
Yeah, made in China,
and he's
whatever.
going like this. I don't know. They need jobs.
Yeah, he's sneaky.
Yeah, he sold those clips.
Yeah. Because he owned all those what was it? Big Pants. What was the name of his company? Worldwide Pants. He owned all his stuff.
So me and Anthony should sue Hillary. She used one of our clips.
Or just maybe ask, or does Sirius own it?
Right, but did you put it on YouTube?
I don't know.
Might be fair use if it's on YouTube.
Yeah, they can grab it from YouTube.
I asked Trump when he used to call our show if he changed his diapers.
Yeah, that was great.
And then fucking Hillary used it, in a campaign. I don't think it was officially on TV, but through her Twitter feed. Her Twitter feed. She had it on there.
It was on her YouTube channel too.
It was.
Yeah, it aired there.
I don't change diapers.
Yeah. Find the Hillary thing. Cause
I don't want a president that changes diapers.
Really?
No. I want him doing other stuff, dude.
Right, but having had changed, helping your wife once or twice.
Oh, you got
He's saying it like I've never done it.
Yeah.
And never will.
He's old-fashioned.
That's why I change wives. They ask me to do something, I move on.
Change diapers? No, I'm changing wives. That's brilliant. There was a late-breaking story on Trump today, too, if you don't mind me throwing some politics out.
Friday night story.
Yeah, this is a Friday info dump.
Oh, it's Friday. Huh?
Yeah, Trump said on the 23rd of September he was going to book $100 million in TV time and swamp Hillary in all the swing states like Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina. Today, they've only booked half of that, and there's Maggie Haberman, who is a political wonk, said they're pulling back hundreds of thousands of dollars of that, which means he's either given up on Ohio, Florida, and North Carolina, or he thinks he's got it. And I don't think he's got it.
Well, what do you think the answer is?
Nobody's telling him he's got it, so it must be giving up.
But do you think he doesn't think he's got it? Can he even think that?
No, he can't think that.
But
No,
I
he
think
can't.
he thinks that he has succeeded enough. He's record breaking and history making, and will be even more famous than he's ever been for the rest of his life.
At this point, he doesn't even need to be the president.
He has made it.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to be the president.
That's a good point.
He can still lead the people that like him from the sidelines.
And if they pay him $10 a month, that's $700 million a year.
It's $419, you guys.
What does that mean?
It means that in a minute I have to start smoking weed.
Wow.
Do you actually?
I got a really tight
alarm?
time schedule.
Do you really have to?
I'm just joking around.
I don't know when you.
It's a strange time to
Listen,
set
guys,
an
I
alarm.
have to do it.
I don't know sometimes,
well, you know,
yeah.
420, right?
Yeah,
no, we know.
So
marijuana.
I give myself a minute ahead of time so I can,
But do you do it when no one's looking?
Yeah, it's still just a fun thing to have go off every day. So
And then you go, when you do a quick hit or
Yeah,
something?
if I did forget to,
Is it medicine?
For me, it is. Yes, I have my medical card.
He's smiling at me.
It's going to go like it's polling at 50 and 60% in every place where you could vote for it in
big
November.
time.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
No, now it's going to happen.
Arizona and New Mexico look like it. Delaware's already decriminalized it where I live.
We've discussed what state's going to be the last one.
California's going to do it.
What's going to be the last state?
Utah.
Interesting.
Utah's
Maybe.
up there.
Utah, big time Utah. There's huge resistance there.
You think New York's going to be a little
Mississippi,
slow,
maybe?
don't you think?
No.
You think
Not
New
with-
York's going to come
Not
around
with
fast?
this governor and this mayor.
And money.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about the money, you're right.
Montel just opened a business in the edibles.
Really?
Because he's a big fan. He uses the government version for his MS. He treats his MS with it.
Right.
He used to smoke in the studio at Air America.
And was he high?
No. He would just take one hit. It's basically grown for his pain because they've got it down to where they can engineer it to address pain in a certain part of the body, address anxiety, all this stuff. And the government owns the patent on cannabis.
He's very serious about it. We tried to get him on Getting Doug with High, and he's not going to just sit there and get really high just to get really high. He really medicates with it.
Yeah.
But it would be a great angle.
He functions really well just by, and he can't, he couldn't get through the schedule he has without being able to address his pain.
He's very intimidating. I have to say he lives in my building. And because, you worked with him and I see him a lot, I want to approach him.
You
and
should.
Say,
He's a good dude.
I've seen him for, 8 years and I still haven't approached him. He's not approachable. He's not one of those guys that's approachable.
But if you say hello to him and tell him who you are and you know me, I guarantee you he will say, "Come here."
Really?
He's got a poodle he walks, for God's sakes.
I've seen the poodle.
We talked about our poodles. We both are poodle
You got a
people.
poodle?
Yeah, Gracie the Wonder Dog just left us, and we're getting another one.
What kind of poodle?
A small one.
Not the big giant ones?
No, he's got one that's about 15 pounds, Mr. Max.
Now, someone over the summer told me that the poodle is the most vicious dog.
Oh, I don't know. They're smart. They're smart as hell.
They're tall ones.
The standard. That's called the standard.
Supposedly, they're really vicious. Well, and they're right up there as one of the vicious dogs you could get.
I don't know about that.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm wondering if that was true, or if this person was just bullshitting me.
Probably messing with you.
And how smart is the poodle?
Very smart.
In what way, though? Give me an example.
Gracie recognized, I think, 50 different commands. You could say a word and she knew it. You could tell her to get this, get the doll, get the stick, get the shoe, and she would go right to that. Very smart dog.
They just said that about dogs in general. That a lot of dogs have a vocabulary. They have a certain number of words that they recognize.
Some are a little better on processing than others,
sure.
and they're smarter. There are a lot of smart dogs out there, but I think the poodles are up there in the top 3. And I can't believe I'm on your show going, "Oh yeah, hey, poodles are smart dogs. I've got a poodle." But with the poodles already.
Well, I mean,
they are smart dogs, and if you cut them like there's one here that doesn't look like that frou-frou French cut. They look like normal dogs.
Yeah, well, why do they make them look stupid?
That's something the people at the dog shows do.
If they're so smart, why do those dogs run away from the clippers?
Right. Those are the owners.
Yeah.
But who says that looks good?
The AKC. The dog show does that, when the American Kennel Club
but every
does
time
that.
So I guess... Oh, you know what?
That cut is the cut that they want.
Dumb.
And it just looks stupid.
But, all right, I think I just learned something today. As I walk through New York, I probably have seen a million poodles that I didn't know were poodles because they didn't have the stupid cut.
They give it what they call the lamb cut, where you see it looks like just a regular furry little lamb.
Right.
And most poodle owners don't want that dumb. And you know why they cut it, where they have the puffs around the knees and stuff? That was because they swim, and that was to keep the joints warm. Something like that. Some weird stuff.
I got to take a call from Scott in Buffalo. A little off topic, but we can certainly get back to poodles. Scott, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Good luck in the show.
Thank you.
I actually got 2 questions. One for you and then one for Stunt Brain.
Okay.
First one, how's Brother Weeze doing? Have you heard anything yet?
Only reason I'm taking your call because it's killing me. I haven't gotten an update. My mentor, Brother Weeze, it's the only reason I've been as successful as I have, because this guy taught me how to do radio the right way. And he went in, he had a growth on his vocal cords, and he called the show to, say, hey, this is the last day I could talk for a month, hopefully just a month. It might be more. And he had to take a leave of absence from his job. They're not paying him, which is ridiculous. And he was hinting to me that this might be bad. It might be, maybe a little C action.
Oh, no.
Hopefully not.
So he went in yesterday, and I was in touch with his wife, and I don't want to bother, but I said, please give me an update when you can. And as I sit here, that's why I took your call. I'm so distracted because I want to know what's going on with him. So I'll probably reach out after the show, and hopefully I could give an update on Monday for the people that do care.
Or hopefully he's listening to his little I don't know, whatever you are.
Apprentice.
His little piss pot.
Apprentice. That's right, the little apprentice, the little piss pot. And then my second question is, and I don't know if you know who she is, but Stunt Brain.
Yeah?
Tommy. Tell me about Tommy.
Tommy Lahren. Tommy Lahren. Yeah, Tomi Lahren, Lahren. Tommy Lahren is a host on The Blaze. She's got a new nighttime show. She's like 23 years old, smoking hot.
Oh,
full of opinion. She's getting a lot of attention. A couple of her Facebook posts get like 60 million hits.
What?
Yeah, one of them.
She averages like 5 million hits, but she's had a couple that have just punched through.
What makes people click that much up?
Take a look.
Give me one that got 60 million so we can understand.
She has strong opinions that are pure conservative opinions, and she goes after like the Black Lives Matter people, saying you're idiots, and but she'll invite them into the studio too to talk to her.
Right.
So she's fearless on that level.
And does she just dress really sexy, and that's why she's getting the 60 million? Or
I don't think that hurts.
No,
I don't think that hurts.
She dresses conservative. She dresses conservative. She's better than Kelly. When Kelly leaves Fox, she's going to take it over.
When I was at the conventions, I went to both conventions, and at the RNC, 3 guys came up to me and said, "You're with the Blaze. I would like to propose to Tommy. Please take my video." And I actually recorded videos of guys proposing to her. She's very popular.
That's wild.
And people love her and hate her, so she gets both ends watching her stuff.
And she's on the Blaze?
Yeah, she's got a nightly show.
I think I've only seen her in montages of conservatives saying crazy shit.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
But I'd like to see more.
Yeah.
Click on it, guys. I'll punch out. You guys take care.
All right, yeah, we're clicking on it, Scott.
That's Tommy right there. She's got she's
not too sexy, but she's cute.
You know, sticking with politics just for a second or two, Megyn Kelly and Sean Hannity going at it, I was seeing.
Look, who am I married to? A soap opera writer.
Right.
This is the greatest way to get people watching each other's shows. Hannity goes after Kelly. Kelly goes after Hannity. Then they have the makeup. Yesterday they had the makeup, and they were talking about what great friends they are and just both Irish people fighting. It's perfect.
Oh, so you think it's mostly bullshit?
I don't think it's bullshit.
I think it comes from a real place, but then they play it up.
It's very good.
You really think she's a Hillary supporter?
No. Sean says that about anybody who won't come out and support Trump.
I used to do Sean Hannity's show, and I couldn't do it anymore because he would beat me up over Obama. Like, you voted for Obama, and I'm like, and he would call our show. I'm like, I didn't vote for Obama, and I'll say it again. When all that was going on, and everyone's like, there's no way we're electing a black president. I was on my show at the time going, holy shit, you could just feel it in the country. I'm like, this is happening.
Yeah, we were over at the other building.
Oh yeah,
when that
you
was
were
going
working
down.
for us at the time.
Yeah, we all went. McCain had a chance until Sarah Palin.
Right, but did I ever say I was going to vote for him, or that I actually voted for him?
No, you were.
But
very
he would
neutral.
spin this shit. I'm like, Sean, all I was saying something bigger, that the country didn't believe this was possible, and I was one of those people going, no, this is happening for real, man.
Yeah, he's
crazy.
very, very Trump positive, and Kelly doesn't want to. Well, after what Trump said about her, she's not going to support Trump, not publicly. She might be neutral.
Well, he said a lot of shit about a lot of people who are supporting him now.
That's true. Ted Cruz is voting for him.
Ted Cruz, he says
Marco
pretty awful
Rubio's,
shit.
Little Marco's voting for him.
Well, it just shows you how convoluted all the politics is. Like, people, you still have to vote when they know they don't want to vote for somebody. It's just, it's all crooked, man. That's the thing.
They can become best friends at any moment.
But that's why I hate the whole thing.
Everybody does.
I'd rather you stick to your point. I mean, Trump said shitty things about his wife, his father, and then he turns around and we got this classic video. I haven't played it on the show yet, of him working the phones trying to get people to vote for Trump.
Yeah, that's pretty bizarre.
The still frame looks like he's so sad.
Oh, he's miserable. He doesn't want to do this. I respected him at the convention because he was sticking to his guns, basically. I'm like, I don't like Ted Cruz, but I respected him at that moment, going, fuck yeah, that's all right.
When did Cruz do the timeline? Because it's always what happens next. When did Cruz come out and say, I guess I'm going to vote for him, I'm voting for him? He didn't out and out endorse him. It was a day or two after Reince Priebus, the head of the RNC, said, if you don't support Mr. Trump, the RNC is not going to support you, which means money for your individual campaign.
Right.
And he's facing a primary challenge in Texas. He's facing a senatorial challenge.
You just have to suck it up.
It's like, hey, here's the sandwich.
Sucks.
But how many kickback? I mean, there's so much of that on the Hillary side too. It just never gets addressed because all the media is owned by Hillary supporters, and everybody's
How'd you
in
hear
bed
about
there.
it? Huh? How'd you hear about what you're talking about
on Fox?
You just know. I mean, you just got to shut. I mean, it's just. Who said it years ago that this country was bought and paid for a long time ago? It's business, man.
Right.
It's all a business.
Well, let's play this for really fast. Ted Cruz, working the phones. He looks miserable.
He looks like he's chained under that desk.
Yes.
He could be. He could be drinking plasma.
Hi, this is Ted Cruz calling. I was calling to encourage you to come out and vote on Election Day. This election is critical for the direction of our country, and I urge you to come out and support freedom, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. You can vote by absentee ballot, and if you need help getting an application for an absentee ballot, the Republican Party of Texas can help you with that, or you can vote in person. But I just wanted to encourage you to come out and vote. Thank you, and God bless you.
Why not just record that and then robocall it? Why does he have to sit there and do that all day?
What name was missing from that call?
No, I know he never mentioned Trump, but still. That's
his alien leader, either one of them. Xenon.
Just the worst. So sad.
But you can just tell he's so defeated by not having the opportunity.
Yeah.
And he's broken, and it's tough. That's a dirty road you're in because there's only so many spots at the top, man.
That's what's weird about the VP selection process to me, because it kind of should be the second best debater on their side,
or the
like
vote getter.
Just
another one of my points over the years.
Bernie Sanders should be Hillary's running mate.
Right, we don't vote for the vice president, and then God forbid he dies in office. Now a guy that we didn't even vote for is the main guy. That doesn't make sense either, and they only pick him just so they can win a particular state.
Well,
so it's not like he's well-rounded a lot of times, these VPs.
We got to shut down politics, man. We got to find a new way to do it.
Take the money out of it.
We need a king. I want a black Nick Nolte. That's what I've been saying. We need a Nick Nolte that's urban, and we need to get him in there and let him lead us.
Who is the black Nick Nolte?
That's a great question.
What actor is the black Nick Nolte?
Actor? I need a human.
Well,
That's a question for Doug Benson right there. The black
Nick
that is
Nolte.
a movie question. That's a movie question right there. As you think, Jerry Cooney just walked by the studio. We should have him come in and say hi. You guys know Jerry Cooney?
Never met him. I've heard him on the show.
He's awesome. And then Green Day's here today. But Kenny, did Green Day say no to our show? I think Roland said that Green Day said no to coming in and saying hi.
They're down the hall.
He said they're too busy.
They're on lockdown answering questions in the lobby.
Green Day's doing a quick in and out today.
Yep. They're gonna go on EW radio for 3 hours, and then they got a bolt. They're gonna play the entire catalog and confess some things.
What do you got, Lewis?
He's taking a picture with Green Day right now.
Who?
Wow.
Jerry Cooney's taking a picture with Green Day.
Jerry Cooney came in to get a Green Day picture.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We go way back with Green Day. Way back.
I love Green Day, man.
They used to come in all the time. Well, maybe I shouldn't say all the time, but definitely a few times over the years.
You used to sell I used to sell people at Ecstasy. We would sell them hamsters and gerbils to people on Ecstasy, leaving concerts. And Green Day was one of the shows we set up shop at. Back when I was young.
And gerbils.
Because people on Ecstasy, they want that new friend at night. And we would get out there and pedal. They had they actually had a dude named Kenny. This dude was blind in one of his eyes. But the other one was, normal. And he had this outfit, and we would sell them, bro, to people on Ecstasy.
Wait, who figured out that the Ecstasy people really wanted the hamsters? That's kind of brilliant.
I didn't figure it out. I just got work with them.
But you got in.
I was employed by them.
Like, all right, we got a lot of hamsters to sell.
But it ended poorly. I mean, as most small businesses do.
How did that small business end?
Ended in a fight. This Asian guy got electrocuted. The only Asian around, really, that I've ever even seen. And they got him.
We've gone from Green Day and Jerry Cooney getting a picture to selling hamsters and gerbils to people on Ecstasy, leaving the concert.
I was the barker. I wasn't.
What do you mean they got him?
Asian guy gets electrocuted.
Bro, this was early 90s, man. This is...
Well, okay.
I like how every story, when you're talking about a person, you bring up their race every time.
And I love how you said, this was early 90s. Like, this type of thing was normal.
Weren't y'all there? Where were y'all in the early 90s? Y'all weren't alive?
I don't remember seeing Asians being electrocuted in the early 90s.
You guys were in the city, man.
Yeah, I was here.
We had one... I remember there was a rumor that there was an Asian boy about 40 miles from us. We saved up money, me and two of my buddies. Bought a taxi ride over there.
Oh, you wanted to go see an Asian boy?
Yeah, we'd never seen
Let's go
one.
check him out.
Yeah. What, no television where you lived?
I mean, they had television, but what was on? Highway to Heaven? Little House on the Prairie? How many?
Murder, She Wrote was on. You could probably watch that.
So
very few Asians in Angela Lansbury's life.
Walk us through this. So you're in a cab to go see a real-life Asian for the first first time.
Cost us about $30 each way to get there, and it was a laundromat business, and there wasn't an Asian kid there when we got there, and that was it.
Oh, waste of money.
What kind of drugs were you on that made sense?
Nothing.
Nothing for real.
Just wanted to see an Asian up close.
They didn't have money for drugs. They spent it on cab rides.
Dude, we had black and white people. That was it. That was all we had.
$30 there and back. You could have bought a bag
or two.
We could have made
92.
Look, dude, I didn't make the rules of life. You know?
No, but you've broken them, haven't you?
I just try to live by them. You're telling me if you hear rumor there's an Asian, you're not going to go visit him?
Oh boy, here's Jerry Coney for some. He's going to give us some fucking wisdom.